The journey. The three started off from the street of small e's. G and E came for S, and so two became three. They drove up the road towards Halifax town. The princess was wondering how she'd lost her crown. First stop was the place S and E came from Jan, and S went back late to spring early Jan. But they wouldn't see her, so next in the plan was the place J and S had first met up with Stan. It wasn't his real name, but Stan did have a pen, so we wrote to a Patrick at RJH then, shared the plan for the Botox and what followed on, all imparted from Pen A to Pennine Feven. At this second stop, hit a wall, then a hurry. They're leaving this town, heading off now to Bury, to speak to 4-5, who's now starting to worry because 7's so fast that her words come out blurry. 5 got the psych, who listened quite long, but stopped Tess again as she spoke out the song and said, "Foster, the people here know you're not wrong, but your story's quite rambly and ever so long. So please go to Oldham. It'll help you be strong." S cried again in the taxi across, over the boundary and past the park, in through the airlock. Her room there was stark, but Tracy was lovely, and now it was dark. A turd in the toilet. S started to cry. She just couldn't stop it, and she knew just why. So she let the tears flow several days till they dried, and her shattered heart bits rattled round her insides. She did the only thing that ever helped to calm her fears. Volume 11, with her elbows in her ears. It took its time to sink in, but the words somehow got through, and by the time they'd done with her, she didn't feel quite so blue. And she wrote a note to Gigi. Or maybe there were two. The tenant, on her shoulder, said, "This all came from you," wrapped it up in paisley, passed it on to the Raya-Guru. He was working in the temple, but she knew he had a band, because she'd met them in the bottom of the buried peeler's ram. He told her that he'd passed it to the man who they call Guy, and S asked him and Sarah Jane, "I haven't heard back. Why?" The look had passed between them. She'd seen it, and she'd known, so she gave up on the Gigi, saw the playground, then went home. Home is where the heart is, but they broke it once again. They changed the locks while she was out. Never would lie there again. 60 years of Corrie, but she couldn't watch tonight, so the rover returned to Salford to think about her plight. John found her on the corner in Victoria's watchful stare, and neither of them realised the Hunter's Bank was there. He took some pressure off her and went off to do his thing, and she went off to shelter in the Rosy Eagle's wing. A lemonade, and oh fuck no, a lot of wondering where to go. A call to Ian, a text or two, and then she knew just what to do and where to go and where to be. A garden of roses, 11 and me, a Josie, an Owen, an AJ or two. And there found a Dickens. That's Bono to you. Next, to Dan's widow, Radcliffe for Christmas. A big pregnant belly, a flood that had missed us, but the bridge had collapsed, and so we had to drive to drop off the big kids and get to the hive at the top of the hill where King Bill looped up shore, and the worry of water was ours no more. Next was the CC with Whittaker's wife, new lessons about a new time traveller's life. Donna took notes, worked the bar, served the punters, thought about rabbits, mused about hunters. Met Clara in Hebden, second time lucky, loved heavy salad, wished for Kentucky. Got fired by text, "Hey Jude," but hey-ho, no job meant new freedom, the chance now to go wherever they called her to. Thus it was so. Long sight M13. No burns for you, though. It seems to her now her unique way of hearing the words her elbows say was always being helped along by Harry's cousins and Olympians, authors, detectives, the Baldwins and Halls, singing her life, her birthday, and Moles, Kevin the Jedi and Yodaphone, Jay Sparrow ordering her to go home. Empty streets, empty beds, empty fields, no one roams, a whole house to play, whole world stuck in their homes. She sorted her rainbows, her beads, and her life. She dreamed of the day she might be a new wife. She parted with JD and old Sailor Jerry. The music was loud and they got her quite merry. But she broke no rules, because JD and SJ stayed in their bottles till the glass came their way. Then they filled her with spirit, as only they could, and watched as she danced. It was really quite good. The giant had awoken. It's here, the final dance. She'd always lived for Seven Veils, and now the Colosseum's chance. The thrice repeated lyrics really hit the heads of nails. The gardens, homes, stones, roses. They already started tales. the setting cypress sun and smoke and mirrors Scrabble house, the family at Christmas and the neighbours scream, a mouse! As COVID solves the puzzle and the answer's 42. 6 Fevens and some 5s have brought this mad March fix to you.